anyway.
We are recording. We are recording. I've got new tables in the studio just over there, and we were not having an argument. I mean, I don't think we really have conversation. We just bicker, and it's the level of volatility on our arguments. So I bought all new tables. I don't allow any drinks on them. I don't want any ring marks on them. I don't want any tide marks on them. Just when you go into somebody else's house or studio, you treat it with respect. You don't run around like a pig.
Whereas I would say that's like going round to your nan's house. Go get that off the table without a coaster.
I mean,
no, coasters should be used for terrain bases, and put your drink on anywhere you want. Surely.
It's a nice studio. I got nice tables. I got nice chairs.
That's not up for debate.
You are coming into a sacred place. You don't just leave drinks randomly around. You don't leave ring marks. You treat your area with respect. Just basic levels of respect. I'm not asking you to like bow to me or take your shoes off or like any of that. Just don't respect my tables, please.
Fine.
Hobby Hammer, issue number 7, series 2.
Furniture bickering.
Furniture bickering. Max, today, why are we here? What are we doing?
Well, today we've got the new Blackshields list that has come out. So it includes Endred Haar. So Miles is going to show off his Endred Haar model, I imagine, constantly.
Yep.
Going to constantly refer to it. We're going to have a quick run through the rules and how they feel. And also, because it's an episode, and I can't go an episode at the moment without talking about something about Warlord Games, I've done a piece. I've done a piece, and I'm going to ask Miles about how to improve it.
You're contractually obliged to talk about Warlord Games now, so we're going to slowly transition over the things we want to talk about into the things we are paid to talk about. I'm not sure what it's going to do for the contracts, but we're going to be
NDA from Warlord Games.
Do not bring company into disrepute. Or, like the very first thing, the very first cast we're on, and we bring it into disrepute. So let's just dive straight. Enough preamble, enough eating around the bush. Let's get in there.
Are we going Black Sheep? Well, which one?
Warlord Games. Oh, no. Okay, up on screen right now, you have a completely blown out image okay, I'm a vain creature. I'm a vain man by nature. And I've put a couple of filters on the screen to, when we're presenting, not to look so zombie-esque, give a little bit of life and a bit of generative energy to your skin tone. But unfortunately, this does mean it does weird things to green on here. And I have no idea why it does this. So right now, Max is displaying this wonderful, genuinely really good green OSL artillery piece, but on the screen, and what our viewers can see is just this black hole, this void.
Well, that could be good in itself. So, is it? Can they see the artillery piece and the people?
They can see the artillery piece. They can see everything, but the glowing green orb at the center.
That's fine. Because that actually could be good in itself. Maybe I'll repaint it. Because what I wanted to ask you was I've done this OSL thing, right? And I want to do some like crackling lightning.
Oh, okay.
Like the Night Lords, because I'd done the classic thing of like looking at people painting stuff. I used oil paint to get the white very bright and go round into the shadows, and then put my OSL on with like a saturated green. Yeah. That's now showing up as black.
Yeah, that's just a complete black void. Yeah.
I've then put white in to give like the very bright point of the highlight, but it just wants a little bit more. I want more wacky sci-fi within this model, because to contrast to like the regular Vermac troops that are also on the model.
Yeah, what you need to do is, so up on screen right now we have a raptor with lightning bolt effects surrounding it. And this is the kind of effect I think you're going for. So the wires, like, it has a little bit of flex, has a little bit of give, so it's not going to instantly snap the moment you look at it. Now the real secret is what wire you use. And in order to find out what wire you want to use, you want to sign up to Lil'Legend Patreon for $15. No,
guerrilla marketing of the
guerrilla
Patreon.
market, yes, or not subliminal. What's that joke in The
Non-stealth.
Simpsons? Not subliminal, like superliminal, liminal.
Superliminal
Sign
marketing.
up, sign up. No, you can get this stuff. It's
No.
I'm not even sure what the hell you call this stuff. It's the wires used in to like
fiber optic wire.
Yeah, like fiber optic wire. Yeah. I mean, you can jump on eBay, jump on Amazon, find different gauges of copper wire. Any kind of copper, aluminium wire. I wasn't sure which gauge to buy. I bought a bunch of them just to try out. And it is handy having different gauges because you can do slightly thicker effects, slightly thinner effects. But for the very super fine effects, buy this stuff. So once you fight out of all the crackheads from stealing your copper wire, you need to very carefully, very, very, very carefully.
Increasing the value of the model too much, it might be stolen.
Yeah. So gently.
They're after my copper, goddammit.
Gently try and remove the rubber seal. Let's see if I could do this live. Doing it live.
Yeah. Luckily, I've got some wire strippers downstairs. But...
Look at you, Mr. Professor. Do you steal those from your site?
Well, no, because...
Yeah, no comment. No comment.
No. Well, I was working... Like, by the end, it was my site, mate. By the end, it was mine.
I'm not here to judge. Okay, so look how super fine the wire is inside here. I'm sure it could be used for a lot more wondrous purposes than what we are about to use it for. But various gauges of copper, aluminium wire, or aluminum to our North American cousins.
Aluminum. Nuclear, it's pronounced.
Nuclear, yeah. Football. Right, yes. So that's what you need to get, different gauges of wire to create those lightning crackling effects. I think for something like yours, the thicker gauges would be better because you want to have like more substantial.
Yeah, and it's probably got to be a bit sturdier because this is going to be a gaming piece.
Yeah, it is. Now,
actually,
we've talked about this
it's
before.
all made out of metal as well.
Yeah,
so,
you've talked about this before, like drilling in and then housing the wire inside it. Yep, that could certainly help the flex of it. I personally don't do that. I try and find areas where I can kind of like sink it into naturally. So on the Raptor, I was able to like hook it around the shoulder pad or like in between. There will be natural crevices and areas you could kind of like hook it into, but once it's glued in there, it's pretty safe.
Miles is just an expert at finding natural crevices.
I absolutely am. I'm like a rat up a drain pipe. Ask the missus. But what have I been up to? I'm not going to talk about that today. I want to dive straight into Black Shields. A quick little preview. Apart from playing with wires, I'm doing this guy. I'm testing out a 40k Space Wolf scheme. I'll be doing a 40k commission based on Bran Redmore's Great Company. In the last issue, we went through the conversion of him. And of course, when I'm in the converting mood, I go a bit crazy. So I've been converted up this guy for the conversion course in January next year. End of January, we are hosting a conversion course again. This will be for that. And because it's October, because it's spooky season, I've printed myself off a Conrad curse. Yeah.
That was good.
This is Halloween. Yeah. This is Wilf Sculpt. Absolutely freaking amazing with companies.
So no longer available.
No longer available, unfortunately. No, a one-off, and I do feel bad advertising them because of that. But yes, any Games Workshop lies, it is not available at all. I bought it before you sent the letter.
It's a personal piece.
It's a personal piece, whatever. It's not for distribution. I can't sell it to you. Don't ask. No. Nothing contravening the law. Okay, yeah, but I don't want to really spend too much time talking about my hobby. I want to talk about Black Shields because, Max, I read rules, it goes one year, out the other. Like I have butterflies in my head. I need an adult to explain to me exactly what these rules are. But for anybody new coming into this, I have no idea why this would be your first experience with Horus Heresy, finding us talking about it. But if it is, Max, would you like to explain what the Black Shields are?
Right. So the Black Shields within the heresy are two things, actually, and I think they're two distinct things. You've got the Black Shields, which are elements of the legions that are either far removed during the Great Crusade. So, sort of think how the Carcharodons are Raven Guard that have gone out into the Void and the Black, into the Ghoul Stars, and they become separated. Think, I don't know, World Eaters, if they've not got the nails hammered in, because there's an element of them that happens to. So there's that, and then there's elements of traitor legions that remain loyal and paint their armor black to cover up the colours. So there's actually in the fluff two reasons to be Black Shields.
Yeah,
now
I'd even go further than that. It's any army that doesn't quite fit into the loyalist or traitor dynamic. Anything that falls in between that vast grey area in between.
Yeah, and because there's also within this, what Games Workshop has released is like the not quite Black Shields, like say Wolfen in the Space Wolves 13th Company could be represented, or the Raptors in Raven Guard have got a good adaptation within these rules. So if someone's wanting to play one of those more specific forces that are sort of like mutant or modified Astartes, this is very good for that as well. So and there's even like Shattered Legion elements within there that you can do. And so it's basically like, what can you think of? You can probably do it within the Black Shield rules. And I think it's a really good rule set. It's very, very customizable, very adaptable. When I first saw the thing was like 14 pages long, I thought it was going to be like 10 pages of units, like very specific units, and then like a couple of characters. Done.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's actually a really good.
I mean, the first time I saw Black Shields, it was it book 6, I think, Retribution?
Book 6, yeah.
Like the concept of it. Loved it. It felt like Dogs of War in 30k. It felt like a very mutable, open-ended, creative way to create your own force within this universe. If you wanted a little bit more freedom, there's already available to us. They felt like the cool person's choice. I remember looking back all these years, how suckered I was into collecting the Dogs of War army. They were just about to come out. I didn't really understand the mercantile element to them. They were just like a bunch of different dwarves, elves, whatever. Like, what is this?
The Halfling Hotpot.
Halfling Hotpot, yeah. And the salesman, he was flicking through a white dwarf showing off all these units. And I was like, yeah, they were okay, but I think I'm just going to stick with whatever I was collecting at the time. It's like, oh, yeah, you're right. Only cool people collect Dogs of War.
Yes.
He got me. He got me. Only cool people collect Black Shields. I mean, have you ever done a Black Shield force? Have you ever flirted with the idea?
I have. Well, so in the progression, I've always, or not always, but for 10 years, I've collected Iron Warriors, and they've gone through various stages where I, was using them with various rules depending on what happened in a campaign that we were playing. So they got to the point of being Black Shields within that. Okay. So I've played them in that way, in that in the more Shattered Legion style, or not the Shattered Legion TM, but in the more Shattered Legion style.
It's interesting you say that, because I do want to tie this segment up right at the very end by talking about something. Anyway, yes.
Spoilers.
Yeah, we'll be talking about something later. Yeah, it's to do with the Scouring. But yeah, it does feel like this is it's always been a very mutable system, allowing you to tell your own stories with your force. Okay, right. I mean, for me, I collected a very small band, like a ZM force of these guys.
Did you actually have a properly painted Black Shield force?
Well, a unit of them, and they're up on screen right now, displaying, showing them off. You can find the full tutorial of this on Patreon. I thought of these guys like terror weapons. They are flash indoctrinated, quite possibly like very cheap clones, just womped out there, not only to sow terror on the loyalist side, but the traitor side as well. They're kind of like a fire and forget weapon. And they were instigated by this shadowy character whose lineage is unknown. Like, ooh, what gene seed does this guy come from? Is he an Alpha Legionnaire? Is he a Dark Angel? Who knows? Shadowy character.
It might be Alfarius.
Might be Alfarius. So I based him off El Cid, the movie with Charlton Heston. That's what I've based like the beard and the whole like knightly of him. Yeah, El Cid is Charlton Heston in the Black Shield Force.
And that was like Xenos, Deathlocks, and stuff like that.
Very much so. Very barely equipped. I mean, I've used a lot of Goliath arms on them to show like how poorly maintained. It's mixed.
Oh, them one. I remember these actually.
Yeah, very mixed bag of armor. Mostly like bleached by the weapons that they're using. Very disorganized, unruly rabble of a force. They do not operate as a legion, though. They are there to raid shipping routes and destroy infrastructure before a legion even gets to a war zone. That was the idea. That was the concept with these guys.
Well, even with a single squad, I think there's the potential for you doing a force in Heresy 3 now.
Yeah.
With that, which is very cool. And are we going to do a specific section on the rules, or should we just?
So I've got the document up now. Let's bring this up. I've got the document. We can whip through it, I suppose. So Black Shields at war, building a Black Shields army. How do you go about building an army, or how do you go about bringing in a faction?
It's a Marine army. Moving on. So you get the rights of war.
Yep.
Basically, they get tougher as they gain statuses. Cool.
Yeah, bastard sons of fate. So
so that is
when they get pinned, suppressed, or stunned, they get a bonus
plus to toughness and strength.
Okay,
and if you gain 2 statuses or more, you gain +2. So,
and I imagine that's quite good.
Yeah, well, the game in Heresy 3 now is all about putting statuses on people because then they can't score.
Okay.
So you're going to get a lot of status giving weapons that you'll see about in Heresy 3.
Yeah.
Because it's just very easy to then just remove someone's line unit without having to kill every single one of them. So the fact that this actually gives you a bonus while you are statused is really, really good. It's cracking, really. The Gambit is if you're basically you choose the Gambit, beholden to none. But I don't really see how that ties into the name. It's a good name. Don't see how it ties into like if slain by the opposing model, D3 wounds are inflicted on that model. So if you send a Mook into a challenge with a Primarch, bosh, they can take D3 wounds from killing you in the.
So do you get any kind of armor save against these wounds, or is it just flat D3 wounds?
The damage and AP of the weapon used by the model when the Gambit was selected.
Okay,
so
that's quite good then.
If you have a Power Fist, it's at damage 2 and AP 2. If you have a rubbish Power Sword, it's at AP 3. So you want lots of Endred Haars.
Yeah, it'd be better if they call this sort of like final bit of vengeance or something like that, or last laugh or something like that. But for me, this is one of the better Gambits in the game system that I've seen. One of the more thematic, one of the more interesting ones. Yeah.
Well, it's only against uniques and paragons, so that's Primarchs and special characters. But yes, I would say this is one of the best Gambits. When you compare it to, say, like Iron Warriors, you do, I think it's D3 Strength 4 AP 6s to your opponent. Or like Sons of Horus
refuse with their challenge.
Why?
I'm still bitter about that. I'm still very bitter about that. Oaths of Moment. Okay, so this is the thing that really defines the Black Shields as an army, as a list. What are Oaths of Moment?
Right, so it's basically, if you remember, take your brain back, Miles, to 4th edition, maybe end of the...
Yes, I'm there, 4th.
Right, so
What's Bitcoin?
At that point,
What's an Epstein?
Space Marines got doctorate, or Guard got doctrines, and Space Marines got chapter tactics, which essentially allowed you to customize your force.
Yeah.
And this is the same. Like we've seen it previously in Black Shields, but that is how this is going to operate. So if you taking Black Shields as your primary detachment, you're going to get 2 choices from this list.
Okay.
If it's an allied detachment, you get 1. Why is that? Don't know. Is it like, does it make sense? You guys just forget how to be automatons if they're in an allied detachment?
Yeah.
Like, one could claim balance, but also, like, I think it's just overcautious.
I guess when we look at some of the possible combinations in here, like balance, like Hushi.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, overall, it's a really good. I love these sort of non-unique. I'm going to say generic, but that's not in a bad way. Like, I mean it in the way that it can be applied to anything. These very customizable rules that you can apply to your force, and this is just going to be laid
very
on.
Modular, aren't they?
Exactly. So this is just going to be laid onto the standard Marine units, and to then give a real flavour. To the force. So should we pick out, rather than going through the entire list?
Should we read? What I was thinking, we'll read out the names of each of them, and whatever ones really particularly tickle our pickle, go into a little bit more depth with them. Because they do have some really cool names. These are like really cool band names. So first one, Oath of Moment, the Eternal Vendetta, a unit which includes models with a special rule gains hatred. What does hatred do in this edition?
I don't get it. I'm an Iron Warrior, so let's look it up. To the book.
Yeah, to the books. We now know what hatred does. Max,
we do.
Fill us with hatred. You're hot, creamy.
Hatred. +1 wound. +1 to wound. Yeah, he's obviously my brain went to re-roll failed hits.
Same.
Which is like every other edition for like 12 years. But yeah, so that is obviously good. But if you've got a power fist, it doesn't matter so much.
Yeah.
So let's go through them.
And you have to charge. You have to charge. We have Panoply of Old, which sounds cool. They get access to Legion Armory, so you can have like Emperor's Children Black Shields, or
you can have Phoenix blades and stuff.
So if you took 2 detachments, say, could you take one with Emperor's Children, one with Ultramarines?
You could. So the Oaths of Moment apply to that specific detachment, which I think is both really cool, but could get very confusing.
Yeah.
So I think you're gonna have to, and this isn't like a wild suggestion because it's not going to be that confusing. If you're going to do multiple detachments with multiple Oaths of the Moment, make it very obvious in your modelling of them and painting of them what's what. So say like, if you could say, if you've got Ultramarines, Black Shields, have blue chipping under the black if you're doing a black scheme, so that you can tell, although they're the blue ones.
Or I suppose if you've got axes of Ultima, whatever they're called.
Yeah,
like,
whatever.
It's very obviously like a big U on it, and sure.
Yeah. So that's a main.
Don't take a generic spear and say, oh, it's a Phoenix spear.
Yeah. Well, I don't even mind that, so long as there's then not other spears in your force that you like. That one's not a Phoenix spear.
But I mean, that's an interesting dynamic. I mean, ever since the release of 3.0, I've been trying to think of a way to like shoehorn a Black Legion army that I'm painting up at the moment to play in this edition, but like set later on in the timeline. I think
it could just be one of your war bands, right?
Yeah, this could be quite a nice one to use, because the Black Legion, there are collections of warriors you could have. Well, anyway, yes. Enough 40k talk here. Spit it out your mouth. How dare you? Oath of Moment.
32k.
Only in death does duty end. That's a cool title.
Yeah, so a unit that includes a model with this special rule can have the routed status discarded in exchange for taking wounds, it's both really good in game effect and I think really cool.
Yeah,
I like it.
Spoils
like
of victory. You can loot the dead. That's quite a cool thematic thing, like eat carrion, eaters of the dead. I'm not sure how like powerful this would be in game, or it feels like if you took this, it's very thematic, but it's very hindering, especially when it gets rid of sort of like Vanguard and Line special ability.
This and some of the other, anything that changes how you score victory points within your army list is really good. Really good.
Okay.
Now, this is part of, and one thing that we've not said before, like live, partly why people are melting down a little bit about it. But
really, this? Okay, when I read this, I kind of like skimmed on, like, oh, nobody's going to take that. Oh, idiot me. Okay, why are people thinking about, in the words of, hold on, let me get the direct quote, Jonathan Strudgnell, who has said, I quote, some events considering banning black shields. The community loves panic. And I love Miles's Patreon. He's the best. It goes on a little bit at length after that. Well, I'll cut it off there. But yeah. Okay, so right, this. So
it's anything that allows you to have an alternate way of scoring victory points that you can then, that's army list based, that you can then tailor your army rather than to a mission, which might change every time, but you just build your army to be very good at scoring that victory point in that way, is amazingly good. It's like if anyone played Heresy 1, I imagine there's a few people, the Endless Hatred Demons army that allowed you to score victory points from kill points regardless of what mission. You just didn't play the mission. You just scored kill points. And it was so good because you just were playing a completely different game that was focused on what you wanted your army to do. And it's not even specifically the spoils of victory, but things in general like that can become a real problem in games.
Right. Okay.
I think we need to chill the fuck out and not overreact about everything. And it's like day 2 and people are already very angry. Or not very angry, because you pointed it out and I looked it up a little bit. I didn't cross my radar yet. I think we need to play some of these things before overreacting to them. I know mental. It might be incredibly good. It probably is incredibly good. Probably not what the Black Shield rule set is for, though. Do you know?
Yeah.
I wouldn't call someone a cunt for taking the spoils of victory.
But you'd be thinking it really hard. Okay.
Yeah, well, even just like you should be able to use everything in the army list without feeling bad about it.
Okay.
Anyway,
thematically, what kind of army would that serve the best? Maybe like a Raven Guard army?
I think this is thematically one of the best things for Black Shields. There's going to be a few that I think this of. If you think like you guys are on the edge, they're at the edge of supply lines, like scratching a living, like flying place to place, raiding to keep up with things. That's what this represents, is you guys being so desperate for supplies that they've got to like rip ammo and all sorts of supplies off the dead. And like even within the Heresy, this happens quite a lot. Like Slaves to Darkness has the Iron Warriors, even though like the Perturabos at this battle, but they're running low on ammo. So it's something that happens to all Heresy forces from time to time.
Yeah.
And then like having to use trench clubs and spikes and stuff because they're low on ammo. And that's what this represents, is that being at the very ends of supply that Black Shields very often will be.
Who's the Iron Hands guy leading the Shattered Legions force? Is Shadrach Medusan? I think a Shadrach Shattered Legions type of army this would suit.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's all of it. I think this is actually one of the most applicable generally to Black Shields.
Yeah, I mean, when you read the title, when you read the like fluff element of it, it's you can just see the army, right? You can see the Marine like tearing a backpack or like a working gauntlet off one of the dead. You can exactly. Just see it in your head.
Well, it's even. Do you remember in 3rd edition they had the Eye of Terror Codex? 13th Company, where the 13th
the
Company
Wolfen.
have been fighting, and they've been
Yeah.
fighting
Oh,
in the Eye of
yes.
Terror, and they loot the dead and
Yeah.
have different armor plates on their Space Wolf colors.
Do you know?
So I did this army because it's really cool. You could this is that
It is a
exact
cool
thing.
army. I had a little theory about them, and some of the Chaos Renegade Corsairs that they put in Chaos 3.5, that they just took existing miniatures. They didn't paint new miniatures. They just took existing miniatures and painted over the top of them. So those miniatures you saw in older editions at box art, they just like, oh, we haven't got time to do this. Whipped them up, put red, bang it on there. Good old days. Speaking about the good old days, Oath of the Moment, an eternity of war. They can fall back in. Oh, this is a bit of unusual. They can fall back in any direction, and they can fall back into combat.
Yeah. So this essentially, you make a fallback move in any direction.
Yeah. Okay. So you control where you fall
so
back.
you've got control of your unit when it's routed.
Yeah.
It can therefore be moved into base contact with the enemy during the fallback move.
Uh-huh.
So you wouldn't be able to assault because you routed.
Yeah.
But what this is playing into is the Black Shields specific gambit, Rite of War, where you're gaining additional strength and toughness as you gain statuses. And so you're gaining that status. You're going to fall back into combat. That skips out your opponent's volley fire and stuff like that in the assault phase. So you're actually going to not be able to be overwatched as you go into the assault.
Yeah.
So he's actually playing into a lot of your special rules. I'm not sure. I really see. I get how, like, well, it's an eternity of war. I don't see how this fits in Black Shields as much as other things.
Yeah.
But
the
name definitely fits in. The name's definitely generic enough.
So this next one, I feel like, again, like when you see how you theme an army, you could just see it in your mind. Max.
This one speaks to me, Miles.
The flesh is weak.
The flesh is weak. The flesh is weak. I mean, it's not really talked about, but we've all been there. Where no, this is
where's this
basically you guys have decided. It's very applicable to the Iron Hands, right? We know that, but you guys have decided to start replacing more and more with bionics, including their brains in this.
Starts with a knee replacement.
You guys become automata, essentially, and they gain a special rule, or your vehicles gain special rules so that automata can embark on them. They can still contest objectives if they've got with this automata rule, but if they're 4 or below models, so it's encouraging you to take larger squads like linked networks. If it's 4 or less models, you score in less victory points, and if it's 10 or more models, you score in an additional victory point, but you never gain line if you've got line.
Okay. And what does automata do?
Automata means that you don't take checks for statuses.
Okay.
So the only way you're going to gain a status is if you are forced to flee from combat.
Okay, so that kind of works against the army-wide special rule. Okay.
It does. Miles is becoming a gamer.
Look
yes,
at this.
It does.
I know rules. Okay, but this
army, but it's mental. Yeah.
This army I can see so clearly. So previous editions, I've theorized the idea of Zana, for example, one of the dark mechs. We want Space Marines. You know, to hell with these guys running around. We want Space Marines of ourselves. We want them beholden to us. So I imagine with the amount of like gene seed and dead floating around in the universe at this time, they were able to produce not quite Space Marines, but Space Marines enough. It was just an excuse for me to paint a Space Marine army in a Zana scheme. Yeah. And the idea of these sort of like zombie-esque automata in Zana-esque colours. That were completely crushed during the Scouring because we don't hear about them in 40k. Scouring fleet came along, wiped them. Yeah, I would love to do this. Anybody wants to pay me to do it? I'll end up doing it myself. But yeah, that kind of army just speaks to me. Legacy of Nikea. Now this is where things get a little bit silly because I've seen people pair this with another one called In Disgrace, All Are Equal. No. There's another one on here. You could take all characters.
Yeah. So it's the second to last one.
Yes.
I think it is. Alone and Forgotten. So that then basically this makes all of your characters psychers.
Yes.
Right. Basically, sergeants, champions, specialists, and commands. Then the one that I've just said means you can take all characters.
Yeah. So your entire army is like 36 characters.
So you get a billion.
Yeah, all psychers.
Yeah, and I'm not super against this song. Well, all of them, including like the Loot for Dead that we had a discussion about before, are cool. But he just used things with restraint. Don't be a dick.
I'd really like to play against this army. I'd never collect. I mean, sure, I could get like a collection of models together and like play it once. I think it would make for like a fun scenario. It's sort of like a 13th Warrior type game, or maybe if you're doing like a kill team game, maybe something smaller scale, having that using these.
You want me to make you want to collect this army?
Yes, please. Go on, tickle me.
So you're doing your Black Shields that you never shut up about.
Yeah.
And during the Scouring, the Thousand Sun sorcerers go around and basically collect other automatons, like the Dust Marines, the Rubric Marines.
Yeah.
So you have your sergeants being the Legacy of Nikea. And this is where you get who's the guy in the Black Legion series? The Coron. Who's the Thousand Sun sorcerer?
Iskander Kion. Yes.
Kion. Right, so you have Kion and the other Thousand Suns guys, and then you could take the Flesh is Weak so that they gain automatons. So you gain all of your Rubric Marines as automatons, and then you take the Legacy of Nikea, and you've got that just has to be one detachment. So you could do them as a detachment within your army. Is literally the Thousand Suns detachment of post Rubric of Ahriman.
Oh my god!
There you go. This is what you want to do.
You've just cost me a lot of money there, you prick. You've just cost me a lot of money there. Okay, Oath of Moab.
And that's the sort of things of thinking about how these slot together in lots of different ways that we were saying about before. Is there's so many representations of everything that you can do when you have a bunch of different, I'm going to say doctrines, O's of moment, for your force. You slot them together how you want, and it makes sense in your head. It's the best thing about these generic, adaptable things.
I mean, we have like Oath of Moment, Broken Helix. You can either create clones, so less good. Yeah, clone Marines. You can bash out a bunch of them, but they aren't anywhere near as good. They have increased resilience, but they have reduced characteristics like cool, intelligence, that kind of thing. Or you can swing the other way into aberrants.
Yeah, and this is like Wolfen, Raptors, as we said before, and like enhanced. Like what are the ones that the World Eaters do? They get the surgeon, and he's like, "I'm going to make these better."
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that guy. No, it's not Attilian.
And I know there's sort of rules for that with it now. I think in the last PDF or something. But actually, you could go more extreme with it. You could push that to an extreme and take this sort of broken helix.
Yeah, where you kind of break away from established Legion structures and you start doing something a little bit more fringe. And I think that's what this entire document is. It's pushing it to the fringe.
You could do Broken Helix along with the Flesh is Weak to do your Zana force, because they've like experiment. Here's a clone. Here's a clone.
Yeah, just bash out a bunch of clones. Yeah, that would work. In Disgrace, all are equal. Can't take command or high command choices. So there's like a lot of like little lieutenants, sergeants. You get bonuses for your sergeants. They get a little bit more pumped up, but there's no like figurehead. They've all been executed. This is just a bunch of dudes just trying to figure stuff out as you go along.
Exactly. He's the classic like Vikings line of like, Who is your leader? We have no leader.
Pride
Pride
is
is
our
our
armor.
armor.
That's a cool name. All troop slots, allied section. So only elites in this army. That seems like quite powerful. And pride is our armor. Pride of the Legion.
This is one that I don't like much, and I'll tell you for why.
Why?
I think this should just be a thing for Black Shields. I don't think you should have to limit the creativity of your force to take this. Because if you take this, it means that veteran squads are going to be, and like veteran assault squads, etc. Yes, it means that they're going to be troops. That is sort of how Black Shields to me should operate anyway, with that level of like customizability that's seen in a veteran squad of all the weapons choices and stuff.
Yeah,
because they used to have Black Shield Marauders that were like halfway to veterans, but had an extensive war gear list. I'm happy with Marauders not being in it, but sort of think you should be able to take them. And I know you could sort of do it anyway by taking command slots to unlock the elites choices, but this just sort of makes it easier. And if you could already do it by taking command choices to unlock elite slots, so it's not it's not overpowered, because I could do it anyway. Just make it easier. Just include this in the main rules.
Yeah,
it's going to be
okay. One of the big things of the original Black Shields is their customizability and the insane weapons that you used to be able to take. Hallmarks such as like the Halo Blade, the Xeno Deathlocks. They're here. They're here now. Are they quite as devastating as they were in the previous edition and the previous incarnation?
Oh, is that a question?
Yes.
Is it
That's a genuine question. Yeah, because I never saw. I saw people theorize these lists, but never saw one actually go through and build it with any kind of Xeno kind of tech.
Yeah, well, exactly. I didn't see them actually do it.
Yeah.
So how they actually operate now, because I can't give a comparison. Halo Blades aren't that great. They used to be AP3, now they're AP2, but they also used to have instant death, and they're only damage 1 now.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a trade-off. And they gain Shred 5. Would I still prefer to have a Power Fist? Yeah, probably.
But is it a decision? Is this something you need to think about? Okay, even that going.
Yeah, take it.
There's that window. Okay.
Yeah, take it. I reckon if you're going to go Paragon Blade, if you're someone that'll take a Paragon Blade, there's a good decision within there.
Okay.
If you are someone that takes a Power Fist, this isn't going to convince you not to take a Power Fist, is what I would say, because Power Fist is just so reliable. Deathlocks and Doomlocks, I don't like the current overload rules, because this means that you're going to overload on a 1 or 2. So
1 in 3 chance is quite high.
Yeah, yes, and you're just going to be annihilating your own dudes because they're AP2. On the flip side, they're 2 shots in AP2 at strength 6, and they've got shred, but really like strength 6 AP2. So you're killing you're just vaporizing Marines on 2s. Is really good. It's really good.
You can have a really fun 1 turn of shooting.
Yeah,
2 turns
exactly.
of shooting.
Like, if you take a load of them, it's going to be, as Miles says, 1 turn, and then a third of your army is going to be dead. You're going to be doing a lot of damage. But...
Yeah, on the flip side, though, we've got reclaimed weapons. Now, I've skim read this. I've skim read it. It doesn't seem like you can. If you take this weapon, I'd assume that you'd need to like reduce the cost of your base Space Marine because they're so much more inferior to anything else in the list. So why would you? Other than the thematic rule of cool reason, why would you replace them with?
Why would you take a Space Marine with an auto gun or las gun?
Exactly, with a shotgun.
Because it looks cool. No, the shotgun. Right, the shotgun is where this list is at. Right.
Oh, okay.
Or even the reclaimed heavy stubber. It's where this list is at because for a couple of reasons. They all have assault, including the auto guns, las guns. Everything has assault in this list. That is why you're going to want it, because it means that you can volley fire with these weapons, right? Whereas normally you're going to be doing that with pistols. These have like firepower 3 rather than firepower 1.
Okay, back in. Sorry about that. I was messing around. I was trying to find images of John Blanche's Renegade Marines.
Yeah.
Because I thought, I could bring that up later in the episode, but it changed your window. I was like, oh God, is it recording?
Oh no, the green filter.
Yeah,
So,
the green filter again. Yeah.
Yeah. What I would say was that the reason statuses are really good, especially if you've got like a character in the squad that is going to do a load of combat damage, or if you've just got some combat weapons on some veterans or something. If you have, say, like a shotgun, you do your volley fires, and if you get a status off with that stun, your opponent becomes initiative 1, which means if you've got a -2 initiative modifier weapon, which are usually the better weapons, you're still striking before initiative 1 that your opponent is because of the status, and you squash them before they get to hit you. So actually, there's some really good options within this list to be like actual positive forces and rules. It's not just like haha lasgun. They're actually pretty good. Do you know, like some of them? Not as good as some of the other oaths at the moment in this list.
No. But still, thematic cool. But it doesn't feel like you're wasting your time taking it, or you're punishing yourself for a narrative choice. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Blade of the Just. Unit includes mostly models with a special rule. It scores additional victory points for winning hard combats. It kind of lost me a little bit here with this when I was reading through this.
I've not read it, Miles. I've not read it. Do you know what it is? It's a thing that gives you additional victory points based on this, so that he's immediately probably pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
So the total number of models in the enemy side is more than twice the number of models in your Black Shield list. If the enemy side includes more models with command or paragon type, or the enemy side includes a majority of models with a higher weapon skill than the majority of the models in the Black Shield side, if any of those criteria are met, you score additional victory points, which is Doomed Heroics 3 if you have no variant of line or vanguard, right? So if you've got a rapier squad, and this is not going to be a good squad, it was the first thing that didn't have line or vanguard that came to my mind, and I knew it definitely didn't have line or vanguard. If you've got a rapier squad and it beats a squad of tacticals in combat, which everyone's got handbags in that fight, so you might do.
It feels very situational. I like the intention of the rule. It's like the small guy taking on the big guy. It's David versus Goliath, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think these quite translate into that.
Right. So let me give you a for instance of these rules. If I have a Terminator command squad that starts at like 3 models or whatever it is, a Saturnine Terminator command squad that starts at 3 models, and you run into a tactical squad, so I'm now outnumbered more than 2 to 1. Bosh! I've just fulfilled the Doomed Heroics rule.
Okay.
So therefore, gain additional, and that's why these special rules that are like, even if it's like, how do I get that? Because it's based on how you yourself build your list. You just take a load of really nails units that are small. And just run them into things that are bigger than you, and you'll start scoring these victory points. And that's how it can get out of hand. And that's why we see people that are like, ban the Black Shield, ban the Black Shield. Okay. We need to see how it plays out, but he's got, as I said in previous ones, he's got the possibility of being really good. Because if you take a Saturnine Terminator command squad, they are rock hard and gonna be killing lots of things from a small unit. So
it doesn't feel satisfying, you know. It doesn't feel. It's not like a big, thick, cut, juicy steak with fries.
Do you know what I'd prefer?
What?
I'd prefer, rather than these like additional victory points, maybe the loot the dead has to be something like that, and you lose line instead. But the Blade of the Just should be like Rage in previous editions, where if you're out, not Rage, Rampage. Where if you're outnumbered, you gain additional combat powers.
Yeah.
So it then benefits you taking those small squads, but he's not messing with the victory points, which is always it's a really hard one to balance if you start messing with victory points.
Yeah, I mean, we sat here from the comfort of our own homes, like theories, maybe they should do that. But if we actually put this out, and I'm sure it'd be torn apart. Oath of the Moment, Reaper of Lives. Units include mostly models with a special rule: score victory points when used to destroy enemy units. Perfect for a Nemesis chapter type Black Shields list, maybe, or something that is very heavy on destroyer units, something of that ilk. Yeah.
It's like even like splinters of Night Lords, splinters of Death Guard, any of them, like Iron Warriors, basically all the more metal legions. It works for. Okay. And it's again copy and paste the chats about victory points from previous,
changing them around. Okay. Do you want to Alone and Forgotten?
Yeah.
Detachment of the South of the Moment may have command choices selected for it, but gains bonuses for those units in combat.
Only have command choices.
Oh, so this is the 13th Warrior type list.
Only.
To fight and die alone. That's cool.
All troop slots in the primary and or allied detachment basically are replaced with command slots. And those command slots that are in the troop slots can only have Centurions selected for them. Those Centurions can increase their weapon skill, ballistic skill, strength, toughness, initiative, or wounds, 2 of them by 1. So you're pretty much going to select weapon skill and probably wounds, because that puts you out of single-shotted by a power fist range.
Do you remember the Golden Age White Dwarf? Phil Sawyer played a game against like Volton and friends. It was a scenario using his Chaos Warrior army, and he was run against like Volton, like a bunch of villagers. Yeah,
I do.
You could do that on your channel, Max. You could recreate that in 30k.
I've already done. Do you remember in the same vein they did like a Bretonnians raiding Lustria? They did a thing of like Bretonnians raiding Lustria and converted them all with like
weapons. My god, yeah. Was that in the compendium?
It may have been. It went alongside the Lustria release because they did a White Dwarf Lustria release. And then a Lustria supplement. I did that. We did Dark Elves versus Lizardmen in that. But yes, doing this for 30k, I'm currently at this moment trying to book someone for a game. Not at this moment because I'm not on my phone, but
literally right now
to book a game to try and do something like that with this Alone and Forgotten and some other things. I think it'd be really cool.
I love that idea. Okay, and finally, to round out this document, we have the Nemean Reaver. No, we don't. He's not in here. Suck it, Dark Angels fans. I mean, shame that the Nemean Reaver isn't there. It would have been nice to have seen him, but I guess if there's no model for them, we're not going to get rules for them. Maybe in the future, who knows? Indrid Har. This is who we have. Movement 7. The big stats we want to look out for. Toughness 5. Yes, he is still toughness 5. He has 4 wounds, 5 attacks, 2 up save, 4 up invulnerable, and he has Eternal Warrior 1. Nails. This character is nails.
But it's the Eternal Warrior 1. The toughness 5 used to be very important. Well, it's still obviously good. It's still toughness 5. But it was because it changed the instant death threshold. Because you used to get doubled out by strength 8, right? As a normal Space Marine, which was a power fist strength. Whereas toughness 5 meant you had to be strength 10, which was harder. It's the Eternal Warrior is the important bit of this, because that's then obviously reducing power fists to 1 damage. So you're going to have to take 4 knocks to the bonds before you go down. Okay. Which is good.
And he does come very well equipped in this edition with a power fist. It's a special power fist. It's a terawatt pattern
Terawatt.
Terawatt pattern. I wonder where terawatt is.
I wondered where he got his. He got given it somewhere, right? He got like Malkador obviously gave it.
This brutal power fist. Hold on, let me put on the phone. This brutal power fist is studded with additional disruption nodes, allowing a significant charge to be built up. Even the sturdiest foe is rent asunder as its energies are unleashed. So we don't know why
isn't everyone banging more disruption nodes into their power fists? As soon as they've seen one bloke do it, why does everyone not go, I'm going to put more disruption nodes on there? And just
it's
also
not
do
the
it.
meta. It's not you need somebody to do a YouTube video on it explaining terawatt. It's where it's at. They're like sponges. You could do sponge chop. You could do slap chop. Air chop. You could do air chop.
It's not yet been popularized.
Exactly. You need influencers to get on the terawatt pattern.
He just didn't release his power fist at the right time of day, so it flopped.
Yeah.
There
we go.
Not enough people were awake.
Yeah.
But it is damage 3 and strength +4 an AP2. Cool.
Very niche joke for us there. We can chuckle at that. Nobody else. Okay, Riven Hound. I'm reading up instead of down. So the Gambit allows injured heart to make a single attack with a higher strength that causes. Oh, okay. This is quite cool. And so he trades all of his attacks for one attack now. It gives him a bonus of +4 strength and +2 damage. So he's already strength 4. He gets +4 for his fist and an additional +4 with it. So he goes up to strength 12, damage 5 for one attack. Does. Max, is this a good trade-off?
I don't like anything that reduces your number of attacks to 1. So Orlocks have like a very similar thing in Necromunda, where you trade all of your attacks for a single mega unarmed punch. Surprisingly called one punch. It never comes off.
Punch. This is a Tyson punch.
But Tyson was good at bobbing and weaving, right?
Yeah, and he threw more than one punch per fight.
Yeah, exactly. So your fist is already going to make you 4 attacks rather than 5 because it's got -1 attacks modifier. But still, at weapon skill 6, if someone's got a command choice with a prime benefit to give them extra weapon skill, or if they're a praetor with weapon skill 7, he says, forgetting who uses praetors anymore. You're going to be hitting on 5s, is what I'm getting around to saying. So actually, it's a very situational gambit. If you're going up against someone that is weapon skill 5, you can bash them on a 3-up, but that's probably going to be someone that is like you're not going to need the additional damage to kill them. And also, it's like the +4 strength. If you're fighting, I don't know, it's only in a challenge, someone's going to have to be toughness 8 or toughness 6 for this to matter. You're going against the very specific Primarchs that are toughness 7, then it matters.
And you're trading for one attack as well, which is no rerolls in this
like edition. A lot of gambits, it might have a very specific usage. It's not the default. Which one's the one that you always just take? Is the extra damage one? Yeah. It's not the extra damage one from the main list. But
cool. None of situational, thematic. If you just want to wind one up like a comic book character.
Oh yeah.
Popeye punch. Yeah. Okay, and he also leads the Fangs of the Emperor, which I just read the flavor text for this. This is a bit unusual. His favorite tactic was disguising his troops as enemy combatants, allowing him to draw close. So if you're painting an army of the Fangs of the Emperor, does that mean you need to repaint them every single time you face off against somebody else?
Paint them as World Eaters.
Paint them as World Eaters.
If you've got World Eaters army, good job. You've got 2 armies out of it.
Paint them as World Eaters. This gives you Infiltrate 12. So that's quite nice. I think it frees things up to do mainly like an infantry-based army, forward-facing, aggressive. What you'd want from this.
Yeah, and it doesn't control what, as a character, it doesn't control what ultimate moment you can take for your army. which I think is a real positive.
Yeah.
Because I was expecting Endred Haar to be like, you've got to take these two oaths of moment, and then it'd be two like incredibly crap or nonsensical oaths of moment.
Yeah.
Which would be like the classic move. But no, I like it as a character.
I mean, this entire document, I really enjoy. I really like this entire thing. It's got me really pumped up, really interested in the Scouring, because we've been I've been chatting at you rather than chatting with you about this idea that I would love to do just as we launched the very successful Bad Ab War series, me and Max were a part of. Remember that series? It took the world by storm. Or the Return to Isfahan series. I would love to club together with a group of dedicated hobbyists and do a Scouring era thing.
Return to the Scouring.
Return to Scouring, yeah. And I think I've been scratching the back of my head thinking, how do you represent this in Horus Heresy 3.0? I really like these rules, really like them. I would like to set them in here because it's current, everyone's familiar with them. We're not going back to like second edition or anything niche like that. Rules are plentiful, readily available. There's somewhat of a meta around it. But how do you represent the degrading of the Legion structure, the destruction, the erosion of that, while still keeping some of the flavor? And I think that's what this rule set gives you. That you're able to represent the Scouring era chapters or destroyed Legion structures of the traitors and incorporate more of those fringe elements into it. So I'll be working on Max for the next couple of months to see whether he'd be interested in doing something in the next year or so. I mean, we have the Scouring books coming up. We have a plethora of different miniatures in the Heresy range now that are just begging for a Flesh Terror scheme or a Nova Marine scheme or Sons of Sanguinius scheme or Iron Snake scheme, begging. The soil is fertile. Max, let's plant the seed.
You'll have to do more convincing of me than that, Miles.
I'll plant.
It was a good speech. It was a
good sales pitch. Okay, I'll see if I just like the legions of old were eroded. I'll work on Max, see if I can wear him down. Okay, and with that, that's their issue down. Okay, how about that? Any final remarks? Anything you want to close off? Pinched off this circle with?
I can't remember the tagline, Miles.
Hobby hard.
Insert tagline here.
Circle this square. See you next issue. Bye. Bye.
Bye.